Hello everybody and welcome back to Shelf Indulgent. My name is Devin and today I have a super fun video for you guys. I had a blast planning this one, so I hope you guys enjoy it half as much as I did. Today we're going to talk about books that I would like to buddy read. So I went through my entire TBR, which is right over there. As you can see, I have a lot of books to choose from. And I picked 10 books that I think I would get more out of if I read them as a buddy read. So these are the top 10 books that I would like to buddy read. If you're interested in buddy reading any of these books that I discussed today with me, please feel free to leave a comment down below. I am always trying to get my friends to do a buddy read with me, and no one ever will. So I am super open to buddy reading with anyone. Please do not be shy. So without further ado, I think we'll get right into the books. The first book that I'm going to mention is one that a million people have told me that I should read, and I'm just a little intimidated by it, and that is The Name of the Wind by Patrick Rothfuss. As you can see, this is a chunky little book, and the sequel is also quite chunky. Harry recently read this one and the sequel, and he loved it. He thinks that I would love it, but I just feel like there's something about big books that just, I get very intimidated, and they sit on my shelf because I feel like I love short books and long books just scare me. So if I had a buddy, I really think that I could stick it out and someone could hold me accountable, and I would probably end up speeding through it anyway, but I would have someone to hold my hand and make me feel a little bit safer in this very long journey. The next book I'll mention is going to have a TV adaptation. So I'm hoping to read this before the TV show comes out, and that is Wild Seed by Octavia Butler. This bind-up that I have is actually all of the books in this series. It's called Seed to Harvest. So it contains Wild Seed, Mind of My Mind, Clay's Ark, and Pattern Master. I am not asking anyone to buddy read 4 books with me. I would just be reading Wild Seed. I just happen to have it in a series bind-up. I, again, have heard amazing things about this series, but what's really pushing me to want to buddy read it now is that Wild Seed is being adapted to a TV show, and it's being written by Nnedi Okorafor. And you guys all know how much I love her, and I'm really, really excited about that, but I kind of want to see what the story is about and what the hype is about, and I want someone to tag along with me so I can have someone else who's super invested in this story. So I think this would make a great buddy read. The next book that I picked is one that I am so far behind on picking up, and that is Little Fires Everywhere by Celeste Ng. This book has been all over BookTube. It's been everywhere. It was my book of the month pick, and I just keep not picking it up. I think it's because I sometimes struggle with literary fiction and specifically with a family saga, and sometimes I feel like I just check out and stop being interested. So I feel like having a buddy on this one would be helpful to keep me accountable and make sure I finished reading this one and stayed invested until the end. Next up is another science fiction powerhouse, and that is Ursula K. LeGuin. This is The Dispossessed by Ursula K. LeGuin. I want a buddy for this one just because it's another one of those that I have been told by a million people that it's so good. And I picked it up, and I'm so scared to read it because I'm scared that I won't like it. I have read some Ursula K. Le Guin, and I know that I like her writing style, but I haven't read any of her science fiction yet. And I just want someone to hold my hand on this one. I need a buddy. The next book that I'm going to chat about is a book that I probably should have read a very, very long time ago, and that is The Odyssey by Homer. I haven't read this. I'm not really sure how I got away without reading it in high school. I probably read like bits and pieces in high school, but I've never read it front to back. If anyone does know of a particularly good translation of this, I would love to know. Comment down below if you have insight on that. This happens to be the one that I have. It's translated by Robert Fagles? Fagles? I don't know how to say his name. But this is the one I have. It doesn't have to be this translation that we better read. It can be any. Whatever works for you. I feel like this is kind of a cop-out for my buddy read suggestion because it's already taught in schools. There's already a lot of discussion around this particular book, but I feel like those are things that can actually help your buddy read along. So I picked this one for that reason. The next book that I have is another one that has been on my TBR for far too long, and that is Borne by Jeff Vandermeer. I received this advanced reader copy before this book was published back in 2016 from Jeff Vandermeer himself. He very kindly sent me a copy of this book when I entered a giveaway that he was having on Facebook and told him I wanted to give this book to my husband for Christmas because he was a huge fan. And yes, Mr. Vandermeer is a kind, sweet soul who took pity on me and sent me a copy just so I could win Christmas that year. And I did win Christmas. But I haven't read the book yet. So Harry read it and he loved it. But this one scares me just a tiny bit because for those of you who don't know, Jeff Vandermeer writes weird fiction. And this one sounds super weird. We follow a young woman named Rachel. It's in some kind of weird, maybe post-apocalyptic future, but there's a giant bear, and then one of the characters is just a green blob. So if you are into weird fiction, I would love, love, love to buddy read this one. It's not a genre I feel entirely comfortable in, and having a friend would definitely help me enjoy this even more. Next up is a book that I don't know that much about, but everyone keeps telling me it's amazing. And yet again, I've been meaning to read it for ages. And that is A Tale for the Time Being by Ruth Ozeki. The only thing I really know about this book is what's on the back. It mentions a Hello Kitty lunchbox washing up on the shore of the Pacific Northwest, and it has a diary of a Japanese girl in it. And I believe this is going to be the story of the girl who wrote the diary and the girl who finds the diary. But I don't know. I'm a little bit scared of this one because I feel like it might be overhyped. Something tells me it will just make a really good buddy read. This next book I have mentioned on my channel before. I actually think I posted it on like a currently reading video or maybe my introduction video. But that is Red Clocks by Leni Zumas. I specifically put this one on this list because I picked this book up and read the first few pages and I was struggling with it. I want to love this book. I've heard great things about it, but it's one of those that I just think I will appreciate more when I have someone to bounce my thoughts off of. And I feel like other people would benefit from that too. I just feel like this is a book that I'm going to want to discuss a lot as I'm reading it. So I think it lends itself perfectly to a buddy read. Next up, I have what I would consider a modern classic that I have meant to read probably since I was a teenager and never have. And that is Beloved by Toni Morrison. Please excuse the battered cover. I got this at a thrift store and I did not do this. This work of art. This book is one I've heard about my entire life. And I have never read any Toni Morrison. I feel like, again, with literary fiction, I really struggle with reading authors that I've heard so many great things about because I'm scared that I won't like it. I feel like it'll be overhyped and I won't appreciate it. And I'm generally wrong. But I feel like this is another one that I just want a buddy to hold me accountable and make reading it just a little more fun. The last book I have that I would like to buddy read is The Tiger's Daughter by Arsenault Rivera. From what I know about this book, it is an epic fantasy featuring a female-female relationship. And honestly, it just sounds like everything that I love about fantasy. I really have been meaning to read this one, but again, it is such a long book. So I think I would appreciate having some company on this particular journey as well. I'm just realizing I didn't give a great synopsis of everyone. So if you have any questions about them or if you would like to know more, I will link the Goodreads page for every single one of these down below. If you are at all interested in buddy reading these with me, please feel free to comment below. Do not be shy. I also have a Discord server where you can reach out to me if you would prefer that method. I would also love to start using my Discord server for bookish chats. I originally set it up for my Twitch community, but I would love to bring my YouTube community in there as well. It is linked on my profile page, but I will put the link down below as well if you'd like to join. I feel like Discord is a really great way to interact with you guys, and it feels more in real time than YouTube does. So if you would like to chat with me more about books or video games or anything, feel free to join the Discord server. As always, thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye!